welcome back to Near Dark Podcast, episode 82. And this time around, we're gonna travel out into outer space with Leprechaun 4 in space from 1996. I got Blue and Ogge with me here. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing just awesome, as always.
No surprises?
Nope, not really.
No. How are you doing, Blue?
Pretty alright. Just woke up from a nap.
Alright. Okay, so have you guys catched anything of note?
No, I haven't actually been able to see anything this week.
Okay. Yeah, it's only been a week since we last recorded, so.
Yeah.
Have you catched anything, Blue?
Yeah, I rewatched, the fuck did I rewatch? I was watching someone review, or like talk about Scream 1 through 4.
Okay.
And like picking them apart and stuff, and I'm like, oh fuck man, I want to rewatch Scream because it's such a good movie. So me and Gray sat down and rewatched it. Still to this day, so fucking good.
Yeah.
Masterpiece. It was a good time. I also watched.
Have any of you seen the latest Scream movie?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
No, I'm waiting for the Blu-ray release of it, so.
Okay, gotcha. So I rewatched another movie. You and me watched it a few years back. I know you liked it. I thought it was boring.
Okay.
And then I watched something I never watched before. It's a bit of an older movie. I think it's like 2008, 2009. So the one we watched was The Final.
That one is great.
Yeah, it's about a group of kids that gets tormented at school and they seek out revenge on their bullies. This is the perfect revenge movie.
Yeah.
From the side of someone being bullied. I was heavily bullied in school all through first grade to college, and honestly, when I rewatch it now, the first time I watched it, I thought it was shit. I was like, nah. Now when I rewatched it, I watched it with Ray. He was a little bit to it. I thought it was a little bit better. I think it's great. This is like a fucking nerd's wet dream, to say the least.
I think it was Tagger who recommended it to me. Actually. But yeah, I think that movie is great. It's
What movie was it again?
The Final.
Yeah.
The Final. Okay.
I think I've told you about it a couple of years back, Ogge. I might have even recommended it to you.
Yeah.
Another one I watched
it.
was called The Den. It's about this girl that she is. How was it called? She got some kind of like, when you can do a research, so you get money from like a school or whatever to do it.
Yeah, scholarship.
Yeah, she's on a scholarship, and this scholarship is about essentially Omegle. Like, there's all these people on Earth, kids, pervs, older people, adults, like everyone is there. But it's called The Den, and uh, her life gets like fucked up because she comes across the wrong person. More than that, I can't really say. That's just what I read. I can't say more than that without spoiling the movie.
Okay.
I thought it was bad. It was very boring, very predictable. Yeah.
I recognize the title. I haven't seen it, but I think I've seen the title somewhere.
It's kind of like Unfriended, but uh,
Hold on, is it a social media horror movie?
Yeah, it's everything is from the monitor of the,
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I recognize it, because that was the first movie that utilized the desktop view.
Yeah. It's very much before its time talking about from that point of view, because I think the first one after that is probably Unfriended from 2013. Does that mean?
No, it's newer than that. 2015, I think. Speaking of Unfriended, by the way, I was looking up that movie you talked about on Lover's Lane.
Yeah.
It wasn't Unfriended 3, but I found out that there are two fan-made movies called Unfriended.
Oh, okay, cool.
One is called Unfriended Proxy, and the other one is called Unfriended Offline. The offline one I haven't found. They are short films.
Alright. Unfriended is
so-
from 2014.
Oh, okay. But yeah, both of them are short films, and I checked out Unfriended Proxy, which was one of the biggest mistakes in my life, I think. It's one of the most horrendous fucking short films I've ever seen. Yeah, don't go watch it. If you're really curious, it's up on YouTube, but it's really fucking bad.
I was getting my hopes up.
I was gonna go watch it, and it's like, no. Rolls up into the ball. It's like, no, why did I watch this? But yeah, no, the movie I talked about on Lovers, like, it's like an unofficial third, Unfriended movie, in all honesty. But yeah, no.
It's in the same vein as the Unfriended films.
Yeah.
Uh,
However, the Den is definitely before its time. If it was made today, it would probably be better. Because the concept is alright. I like the idea of it, but it could definitely tweak it and make it better and not as predictable.
The thing with the desktop view as a horror movie, I think that could work better as short films, or like a anthology movie with shorter stories, with supernatural things going on, like in the first Unfriended movie.
Yeah.
That's why I checked out Unfriended the Proxy, because I was thinking like, yeah, it's a short film, but it might work because it is a short film. But yeah, it turned out to be a big mistake.
Yeah.
Have you catched anything else?
No, I binge watched Modern Family, all 11 seasons in like 2 weeks.
Holy crap.
Other than that, not really. I was in a serious watching spree, and other than that, I haven't really been feeling movies as of late.
Okay. Oh, well, that's okay as well. Besides rewatching The Walking Dead, the only thing I've catched since we last recorded was a kind of guess grindhouse movie from 1979 called Don't Go in the House. I think this might be something you want to check up on, Ogge.
Okay.
It reminded me a lot of Maniac from 1980. The story in Don't Go in the House is very similar to that movie, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got some inspiration from Don't Go in the House when they were making Maniac. The plot is basically about this man who, as a kid, got abused by his mother. She burned his forearms over the stove, and when she suddenly dies, he basically snaps and builds a fireproof room in his house and lures women there to chain them up and torch them with a flamethrower. So it is a slasher movie, but it's a really odd one. It's very 70s. It's a bit trippy, a bit weird. The biggest difference between Don't Go in the House and Maniac is probably that Don't Go in the House doesn't have that much gore, if any of it, but it got some really striking sequences and scenes. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie, but I won't have any hurry to rewatch it really, because it's sort of like with Maniac. That's a movie I really like, but I can't rewatch it on repeat viewings, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, you should go and check it out when you got time for it, okay?
Yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit slow paced though, so don't go in with expectations to see, complete and utter mayhem. But it's pretty short as well. I think it was like 74 minutes, excluding the credits.
Okay.
So it's short, sweet, and to the point.
I like that.
Okay, I think that's everything. Should we roll the trailer then?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, here it is.
What the hell was that? He's here.
Good evening.
He's back. Ready for romance.
She loves me.
Ready for excitement.
This barbecue's only just begun.
Ready for murder.
Destroy him.
You ball-busting bitch. Hold it right there, Pilgrim. As Shakespeare said, shit happens.
You as a monster?
You look much taller in person.
This is far too violent.
What did you shoot him with? Steroids?
Leprechaun 4. Leprechaun in Space.
On a planet in a distant galaxy, a power-hungry leprechaun holds a beautiful alien princess hostage in order to marry her for her royal title. With her title and his beloved gold, he'll be able to rule the universe. While making his maniacal plans, what he doesn't count on is an invading platoon of marines from Earth to save the princess and foil his plans. An accomplished trickster, the leprechaun stows himself away on the orbiting spaceship and wreaks havoc on the crew in an attempt to recapture his bride. Okay, the one I think hate this movie the most is you, Blue, so go ahead.
No, honestly, I didn't hate it as much as I remembered hating it.
What? Okay, that's the first.
Like, it's not a good movie. It really isn't.
No.
But it got the occasional chuckle out of me. Kind of like, ha ha, his dick exploded, kind of funny. Ha. Like, but I'm not gonna rewatch this. No. This is the third time I watched it, I believe. I think we watched it together the first time I saw it.
Yes, we did.
The second time I watched it was for 100 movies before Midsummer. It's a Facebook group thing.
Yeah.
And then I hated it for the sole reason that I was binge watching a fuck ton of movies. I reached 600 movies in 6 months. Never again. Don't do that, kids. And I think I hated it because I was watching so many movies at once. But yeah, I don't like it. I'm not gonna rewatch it. It had some minor chuckles, but I think I liked it more because I'm into sci-fi horror. Like, it's definitely my favorite genre now. When I watched it back then, I was a torture porn freak. So, I mean, like, my taste has evolved quite a lot. And I can see the funny things in the movie now. But yeah.
It plays out more like a comedy, really.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a comedy than a pure horror movie. And I think, like, if you go in with the mindset that it's a bad B movie, then you will enjoy it more. And it was great first time watching it. We agreed upon this is a bad movie, but Warwick Davis is amazing. Which he is.
Yeah, he is. He's a great actor.
He really is. He is like, he's the one that like makes the movie work, in my opinion. He's great
The best. Not to preempting my thoughts about the movie, but I think Warwick Davis is the best thing with the entire film.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He looks like he's having a pretty good time reprising the role as the Leprechaun. So.
Oh, he does.
But yeah,
it's kind of like what's his face? Tony Todd. Whenever he plays like a bad guy, he really goes in for the role, and
yeah, Tony Todd is excellent as well. I really love him as an actor.
His performance in Hell House. No,
I haven't seen that one.
Oh no, not Hell House. The one we saw at the movies. He plays the owner of a theme park.
Hellfest.
Hellfest, that's the name. Like, the way he goes in for the performance is exquisite. Like, some actors just brings a little extra to the movie and make it even better.
He's great as Candyman, and he's great in the Final Destination movies as well.
I would say he is great in anything he acts in, really.
Yeah, have you seen the remake of Night of the Living Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in. He plays the whatever his name was in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know who you
I
mean.
lost the name. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've watched all of the Living Dead, both the originals and the remakes. I was on a spree.
Mm.
But yeah, it's not terrible. It's not great. It's somewhere in the middle. I'm never like, if I'm not having a gun to my head, I'm not gonna rewatch this movie. Like, fuck that. But it's an okay movie, I guess. It's like, meh.
I'm actually surprised. To be completely honest, I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, no, I also thought I was gonna be sitting here screaming about how like bad the fucking movie is, and it's like, oh shit, oh. But nah, it's, I don't know. It's I don't recommend watching it. I mean, if you wanna piss away an hour and a half of your life, watch it. But it's not pure suffering.
That should be a tagline for this film.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, I don't know.
It's a middle ground movie for
Yeah,
for
there's worse movies out there for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but what will your rating be?
Leprechaun Goes to the Hood is worse.
I don't know about that.
My rating is one middle finger in space.
Okay, that's really low for a middle ground type of film, but okay. Ogge, what did you think about this masterpiece?
It's the best movie I ever seen. No, actually, it's a piece of shit. It's pretty much the same shit as the last two movies, but in space. I thought it was gonna make the movie a bit better, actually, since I'm a huge sci-fi fan, but it didn't really help. I hate pretty much everything about it. It's more of like a family movie for, entertaining kids or something that doesn't know what they're watching. But I wouldn't even say that because I can't see how anybody can enjoy this shit. All of the actors suck. The fucking Leprechaun suck. And I hate this whole franchise. This is a 0 out of 10 for me.
I don't think I've ever heard Ogge being this upset by a movie before.
Actually, I think the last Leprechaun.
I mean, something I should have said. Any movie, like, if we look at like all the big franchises, all of them has a movie where like, oh, we're gonna resurrect the show by sending them out to space. No movie ever that wasn't originally in space got better when they shoved them out into space.
They should have sent out the whole set into space, in my opinion.
I feel that.
Okay.
So, like, pretty much everything I can remember from the conclusion and like the final 20 minutes was that I was just waiting for it to end.
I feel that.
Like you're watching the timer more than the movie. Like only 20 minutes, come on.
Oh, okay.
I think the character I hated most of all was the guy who were in. The guy was doing a very bad impression of R. Lee Ermey. Like that drill sergeant.
Yeah, Sergeant Hooker. He was actually in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh.
The actor, I mean.
Interesting.
You know the guy who's on the machine gun in the chopper?
Ah, yeah.
That's the guy who played Sergeant Hooker.
Man. Well, his career took a turn for the worse. I think Arlie Ermy would be more impressed by Gomer Pyle's physique than his impression.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this was like Blue said earlier. This was a rewatch for me as well. Okay, so the first Leprechaun movie is jokey, but it still feels like a horror movie, and I still recommend you to give that one a chance, Ogge, even though you hate the sequels, because the first one is genuinely really good.
It is much, much, much better than the
Yeah.
sequels. Like, if you're listening to this and you've never given Leprechaun a chance, watch the first one. Don't watch the sequels. Just the first one. You're probably gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially because that one person that played Rachel is in it, and she's kind of hot.
Jennifer Aniston at a
Yeah.
very young age, and yes, she's smoking hot in that movie.
Ew.
Okay, so the second and third Leprechaun movies amps up the cheesiness, but they still had a foot in the horror genre, sorta. And Leprechaun 4 in Space has basically jumped the shark and goes full parody, both of itself and other better movies such as, Aliens, for example. With that being said, it wasn't, like you said, Blue, as bad as I remember it to be. But it's still shit.
Yeah.
They have basically rehashed the story from the second movie and put it in space, really.
Yeah.
With space marines instead of a kid and his uncle.
Yeah.
The effects looks like crap, especially the CGI, which is abysmal. I mean, it's probably lower than the PlayStation 1 graphics.
No. The graphics at the end are smoke. Chef's kiss to that. Foggy is so good. Like, it gives me a hard on. That's how good it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the movie was made today, it could probably rival the effects the Asylum uses in their movies. I mean, it's that bad.
Oh, yeah.
The acting is really wooden, and some of most of them, I kind of guess, of the line deliveries are absolutely laughable.
Yeah.
Most of the humor falls flat, and it just feels overall really forced. I did laugh a couple of times throughout the film, mostly because of the Sergeant Hooker character, and his impression of Arlie Ermey's character in Full Metal Jacket. And yeah, I don't know what else to say really. Besides Warwick Davis being, like I said earlier, the best thing with the entire film, the movie is just absolute garbage. You guys know that I usually try to find something good or at least redeeming with a movie.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly really hard pressed to find anything good with this. It doesn't really work as a comedy, at least not for me most of the time, and it definitely doesn't work as a horror movie.
No.
Since it doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever. And to be frank, Leprechaun 4 can fuck off into space for all I care. I've seen the movie 3 times, I think, and that's 3 times too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will give it a 2 out of 10 because It made me laugh a couple of times, and Warwick Davis deserves better than this.
Oh yeah.
Like this is a type of movie. I don't know what they were thinking making this. Like, did they actually think this movie was gonna work?
Well, I found a thing in the background. I can read it out now. According to Dave Trippett, the executive in charge of production for the first 3 movies, this film originally started out as a spoof of Apollo 13 from 1995. A senior Trimark executive saw the promo art for Apollo 13 and immediately had artwork made up replacing Tom Hanks' face on the poster with the Leprechaun's face, and this is what started the script work for the movie.
Jesus Christ.
So the movie is meant to be a spoof or parody of, serious sci-fi movies, but it just falls flat on.
The man
everything.
who made this movie happen should have been swallowed. I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm just honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just astonishing that this movie even exists.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason X makes sense because they wanted to put out a new Friday the 13th movie before Freddy vs. Jason, but they didn't want to fuck up the timeline, which is kind of fucked up anyway in the Friday franchise.
Considering they so yes.
And Critters 4 makes also sense because they are aliens.
Yeah, they're aliens, so it makes sense that they go out to space eventually.
Yeah. Hellraiser 4, I don't know really.
No.
Hellraiser 4 just takes place in space partially because it jumps through, I think it's 3 time eras or something like that. But still, when a franchise gets sent out into space, it usually means that it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I can imagine. I can understand they want to try that with Friday the 13th because it's such a big and iconic series. But this has sucked for a very long time when they made this movie. So there's already no hope for it.
Yeah.
I don't get how they thought one, last Hail Mary attempt like this was gonna work.
Yeah, and there are 4 more movies as well in this franchise after this.
Yeah. It's some guy with a YouTube channel just doing it for fun.
Yeah, well, it's a really fucking bad movie. It's not the worst movie we've covered so far.
Bleeder.
But it's way up there.
Yeah.
I don't know
Definitely.
if this movie would have been better if, you sat down with a couple of friends and just,
I mean, if you played a drinking game.
Yeah, if you had a couple of beers and you sat down with a couple of friends and watched it, it might have been better, but, watching it alone in the middle of the week, it was an endurance test.
I mean, we should totally, sit down, watch a movie together, and have a drinking game where we're just anytime something stupid happened in the movie, be like, oh, yeah, shot time, and see who passes out first.
I think we would have died of alcohol poisoning if we sat down and did a drinking game like that with this movie.
I think we would pass out halfway in, but not because of drinks, because the movie is so boring.
I think Leprechaun goes to the hood or goes back to the hood.
Leprechaun in the Hood and Leprechaun back to the Hood.
Yeah.
Part 5 and 6.
I think those two would make us die from alcohol poisoning.
I can't even remember those movies. to be honest.
How many Leprechaun movies are there?
8.
8.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's sort of like with Children of the Corn and Hellraiser and Amityville Horror.
Yeah. It's like the
Like-
movie is shit, get over it.
Yeah, well,
There's no-
I don't know, I don't understand which audience these type of films are meant for.
Potheads.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, it's direct to video crap, and this movie had a pretty big budget for a direct to video movie. So I don't know.
Yeah, same here. Like, how can somebody wanna waste money making this? I can't imagine this, being a success at all. Like, it has to have flopped pretty bad.
One would think so, yes.
Yeah, well, the Leprechaun series has a cult following, from my understanding.
I think that's about like every movie, really. Like every big TV series or movie series has a cult following of some sort.
Okay, so they were just trying to milk that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been done before.
Yeah,
Do we have anything more about this movie?
I'm trying to think.
Same here.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's a terrible movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I said, it isn't the worst we covered so far, but it's really up there. It's yeah.
Trying to come up with more ways of saying that it sucks.
Yo, Poggers, I just caught Joseph in Animal Crossing.
What?
Yeah, I caught a stink bug.
Fuck you. Wow. Do you guys have any last things to say about it? I think we
We don't really have
Made up.
anything to say about it.
made our point.
Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably someone out there who's like, "Oh, you idiots! You don't understand how great this movie is."
Yeah.
Well,
But-
if so,
yeah,
please
I-
explain. Please explain exactly how good this movie is. What it does
Yeah.
well.
Like if you're watching the YouTube or listening to us on YouTube, explain to us how the fuck this movie is good. Yeah,
If you enjoy it, that is.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like just tell us. And how are you enjoying the movie? Like, are you smoking pot while watching it? Please tell us so we know how to enjoy the movie. Because I don't think you can be sober and enjoy it.
I don't think so. All right, some background then. I found 2 different budget sources, and one was 1.6 million, and the other one was 3 million. The working title was Leprechaun 4: Lost in Space, which was the Swedish release title of the film as well. It was produced in 1996, and apparently it was released in Russia in 1996. But it wasn't released in the US until February the 25th, 1997. It was released to streaming services in Sweden on February the 12th, 2022, and I checked that out, and it's up on Viaplay, apparently. The sound of the doors opening and closing are taken from the original Doom video game, where it was the sound of the elevators. Director Brian Trenchard Smith has apparently said that he was disappointed by the final quality of the special effects, calling them below PlayStation, like I said. And he also directed Leprechaun 3, but he also directed Night of the Demons 2 from 1994, which is a way better movie than this. Miguel A. Nunes Jr., or just Miguel Nunes. The guy who played Styx, which was one of the survivors at the end of the film. Also appeared in a movie we've covered, Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. He plays Demon in that one. He's the guy who gets impaled in the shit house. And he also appeared in The Return of the Living Dead, and both of them were made in 1985. And last thing I got is that Tim Colseri, like I said, was had a small role in Full Metal Jacket, but the character he played in this movie is also credited as Metalhead on IMDb, even though they never say that in the entire film.
I mean, that's kind of a cringe nickname, though.
Yeah, but yeah, that's everything I got for this pile of crap. Okay, should we wrap things up then?
Yeah, let's do it.
We are playing out with Dennis Michael Tenney and his end credits score for Leprechaun 4 in Space. What is the next pick?
Oh yeah, fuck.
Okay.
Let's see. Battle Royale from 2000s.
Holy shit, okay.
Yes.
A controversial pick then. But yeah, I'm down for that one. Definitely.
Yes.
Have you fallen asleep, Ogge?
No, I said yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear that, sorry.
Oh.
Alright, it's time to say goodbye to the good folks then.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, good people.
Goodbye everyone, and thanks for listening. Hopefully we'll hear from you in the next episode. Take care.